Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagwan, dearest Swami, who is always present with us wherever we are, whatever time of the day it is, whatever time of the year it is. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all of you on this most wonderful occasion. Whenever I think of the Sri Sathya Sai organizations worldwide, I'm often reminded of the Global Olympics event. It is not hard to see that the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations and the Olympics have many things in common. To start off with, do you know that there are 5 Olympics rings in the Olympic logo? Each of these rings represent different land masses. For instance, the first 2 rings are North America and South America, and the other 3 rings are Eurasia, Australia and Africa. And since penguins do not participate in the Olympics, we do not have a ring for Antarctica. But that is more or less what the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization is also about. It has people from all countries in the world, from all of these 5 land masses, and everyone is welcome here irrespective of caste, creed, race, nationality, color and gender, whatever, no discrimination. So the spirit of the Olympics and the spirit of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations is just the same. Now where the comparison gets interesting is, just like in the Olympics, in our organization too, we have 2 categories of people. One, the spectators, and the other, the participants. So it is here we have to decide that when we want to be part of the Olympics, do we want to be part of it as spectators who just sit and see what's happening and applaud every now and then, or do we want to be participants who are the core of the Olympics? Of course, the spectators are very essential, but an Olympics will not be an Olympics without the participants. So now that is the first question that we have to place to ourselves. Do we want to be spectators or do we want to be participants? Again, in participants also there are 2 categories. These are the referees and judges. The others are the athletes. Here too, though referees and judges are important, the Olympics is actually constituted by the athletes, right? Even as we hear this, our mind starts running, right? We are in our mind picturing different people in our own samitis, in our own centers, who we think are participants, who we think are referees and judges who keep judging and just proclaiming results, and who are the actual athletes. While that is a spontaneous thing that happens in our mind, that is not the important thing. The important thing is to determine what my place is. Am I a spectator? Am I a participant? And if I am a participant, am I a judge or am I an athlete? Now that is one thought to ponder about, one point to chew upon and mull upon. In the meanwhile, here's another point. There are multiple events in the Olympics. There is swimming, there is karate, there is judo, there is discus, there is canoeing, kayaking, weightlifting, running, marathon. So many kinds of events, right? So too it is in the Sathya Sai Seva organizations. We have multiple kinds of events and things to do. Broadly, they are classified as bhakti, jnana and karma, the service wing, the spiritual wing, the devotional wing, and each of these wings have a plethora of activities. In the Olympics also, there are a plethora of events, but you know what? Everybody somehow looks forward to the 100 meters dash. That is the most talked about and most glorious event in the Olympics. You may not know who is the person who got the flyweight boxing gold medal or the middleweight weightlifting gold medal, but more or less each and every one of us will know who is the fastest runner on the planet who won the 100 meters gold. In the same way, some of the participants in the Sathya Sai organization also seem to get more glory. If you're a bhajan singer in a place where everyone loves music, somehow the bhajan singer gets most importance. Vis-a-vis compared to, say, a person who is going every weekend to a hospital and serving 2 people. It is bound to happen. But let us remember that the gold medal that the athlete winning the 100 meters dash gets, and the gold medal that a person winning the judo gets or winning swimming gets are exactly the same. So while applause and praise may differ, each activity is equally important and each activity plays its part as a building block in the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization, and therefore we must understand that no activity, no event or no path is less important and the other more important. Of course, some of them hog more limelight, some of them get the less limelight. But that doesn't mean that if I am a swimmer, I should start practicing to run 100 meters. Or if I am a person who is good at fencing, I should start practicing 100 meters. No, I should continue to fence, because if I do well in fencing, I also get the same gold medal which the person winning the 100 meters dash gets. A lot of message is right there for us to learn from the Olympics, because these are the kind of problems we see amongst ourselves when we work in an organization, where we feel someone is getting more important than they ought to, or when we feel that our own efforts are not being recognized. Now, this is where the Sathya Sai organization differs from the Olympics, and that is, when we do anything, we don't do it for applause. We don't do it for personal glory. We do it to please our Sai. And here it is, as I said, that it becomes so vastly different from the Olympics. What happens in the Olympics? The Olympics is a competitive event where athletes from around the world come to compete with each other. But the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization is not a competitive event. It is a cooperative organization where people from around the world come to work with each other, not compete with each other. Now that is a very, very, very important difference. And all you have to do is have a look at the Sri Sathya Sai annual sports and cultural meet that happens every year on the 11th of January. It has recently been concluded. You know, at the end of the sports meet, Swami has set this pattern that when the championship cup has to be gifted, captains from each of the campuses, right from the primary school till the Anantapur campus, Vrindavan campus, Prashantilayam campus, everyone are given the same cups, because Swami feels that all are winners. Why is this difference between the Sathya Sai organization and Olympics? Because in the Olympics, while your results are judged, in the Sathya Sai organization, there is only one judge, that is our dear Swami, and he judges based on our efforts. And that is a great equalizer. That is why it is said all are equal in the eyes of God. Let me elaborate on this with one little experience. It was sometime in 2008 or 2009, and I was working at Radio Sai. I'm still working there, and I had got this opportunity to be a photographer and cover all the events taking place in Prashantilayam. One afternoon, I was taking my siesta. I was lying down in the studio itself and taking a nap. I had a wonderful dream. In the dream, I'm sitting in the Sai Kulwant hall and Swami is watching a drama. I'm not watching the drama because I am watching Swami and all my focus and attention is on him. But as I'm seeing Swami, I realize that he is beckoning to two people behind me because I'm not able to see what's going on behind me. So in my mind, I'm thinking Swami is calling two people. What for? Because he's happy with them. As I'm thinking like this, Swami begins to wave his hand. And I'm thinking, wow, here is a creation that is about to happen. Let me sit and observe it. So though I'm having a camera in the dream, I keep the camera aside and I'm watching Swami's hand. And as Swami waves his hand, out come two gold chains. And Swami says that these two chains are for those two people whom he is calling. And at that time my phone begins to ring. And Swami also looks at me and I am shocked. And so what I do is I pull out my phone from my pocket and I start trying to shut it. And even as I am doing that, my eyes open and it's my alarm ringing on my phone. I'm sorry, it's not my alarm ringing, it's my phone ringing. And I see it's my colleague who is calling me. So I pick up and my colleague says, Aravind, I'm walking past Kulwant Hall now and I see some hurried activity going on. There is a high probability of a program being put up in Kulwant Hall. So get ready with your camera, for covering the event. So I got up quickly and though I was happy that I had Swami's dream and also I could, witness a creation, I just put it to the side now and hurriedly packed my camera bag, everything and got ready to leave for the mandir. Now in the mandir, this was a program, I forget the name of the program, it was by devotees from Uttaranchal and Uttarakhand, a Himalayan state in the Indian country. So they had come prepared with a drama depicting the Shiva Shakti avatar that Swami is. In 1963 discourse, Bhagwan narrates how Goddess Parvati had a stroke. Not Goddess Parvati. Goddess Parvati and Shiva are watching and it's Bharadwaja who sees this and when he's waiting for the Lord and Parvati, he gets a stroke. That whole story which Bhagwan has narrated in the 1963 Guru Purnima discourse, because of which, Swami had to suffer a paralytic stroke to the left half of his body. That's a different story. I won't go into it now. But that was the theme of the drama being depicted. And as I watched the drama, I felt that it was of a very, very low grade, very low quality. It didn't have the standard that is expected of a drama to be put in Swami's presence. For instance, when Shiva and Parvati were dancing, it wasn't looking like a celestial dance, it was more looking like a cheap movie dance. And I began judging, I said, this is so bad, this is so not fit to be presented before Swami. And I could see that many of the students sitting nearby were all giggling at this. They were all, that is how they were laughing because they felt that it was so funny. It was not worth to be put in Swami's presence. As I was watching this, suddenly a thought struck me, hey, what if Swami is going to materialize two gold chains for the two participants here? Oh yes, so that is what struck me. And somewhere in my heart I felt that is what is going to happen and that is what Swami had indicated to me in the dream. You see, when Swami comes in the dream and when he is crystal clear and when you are able to see him and feel the same joy that you feel when you see him in real life, that dream is true. That is what Swami has said. And I knew that my dream was true. Only thing I didn't expect it to materialize just 2 hours afterwards, But I was somehow convinced in my heart. In fact, I remember there was Dr. Sailesh Srivastava, the physics teacher from school who also teaches in the university now. I called Sailesh sir and said, sir, all of us are feeling that this is a third-rate drama. But I think Swami is going to give 2 gold chains, not 1, 2. Usually at the end of a program, when Swami seems to be very happy, see, all this is what we as humans judge. We have no reasoning for the divine rationale, but we feel that if Swami is happy with the drama, he'll materialize a gold chain or a ring for some of the participants. And if the drama is not good, nobody gets it. That is what I thought. That is what we think. But here I just told sir that I think Swami is going to materialize 2 gold chains. And he asked me, why do you think so? I said, no sir, I don't think so. I know so. Because Swami told me in a dream. And can you believe it? At the end of the drama, Swami calls 2 participants. It's like deja vu. I have already seen this scene. And I remember what I did last time. In the dream, what I did, I said, let me look at Swami's hand and witness the miracle of creation. Even as I just look at his hand, Swami looks at me and says, are you not shooting this? I mean, are you not covering it? Take video. So I said, yes, Swami. And I lifted the camera to my eyes and started shooting it. And Swami waved his hand and out came 2 gold chains. You know, this, for one, proved to me beyond doubt that Swami's dreams are 100% true every time. Only thing is, we don't know how they will materialize, when they will materialize, and in what context they will materialize. But dreams are 100% true. The other lesson I learned that day is Swami does not judge us by the results we produce, because it is only humans who judge us by results we produce. You know, we have a performance appraisal in our offices, in our workplaces, and they see the results that we have produced and say, you know, not good or very good. Sometimes it happens that we put in our best efforts and the results don't turn out to be good. But the bosses don't care. Your results are bad, so you're bad. And sometimes by a stroke of luck, we may be able to produce good results without having put much efforts. But we get our bonus, huge, hefty bonuses. But God is not like that, you know. God does not care about the result. What He cares about is the efforts. Efforts alone. I remember Swami walking to the portico once and asking a student how much he got in his exams. And he said, Swami, I got 90%. Swami said, not enough. You should work harder. And then he went to one of the students and asked him how much he got. Now this student was not very bright, and it was obvious that every time the results come, his results will be bad. So we were just wondering, Swami, if you didn't like the 90% results guy, you're definitely not going to like this guy's results. And he honestly answered Swami, 61%. Swami said, very good, very nice. Patted him on his back, materialized vibhuti for him. And we were struck dumb. What is this? What we look at is somebody who is getting 60% is getting rewarded by Swami, while a person who gets 90% is being reprimanded by Swami. What Swami sees is the person who got 90% has not actually put in his best efforts. Swami knows the intelligence that he has gifted the boy. If he puts in his 100% efforts, he is going to get 94%. Swami knows that. And Swami knows that this boy has put in more than 100%. The intelligence that he has is good enough only to get 58% possibly. But he has put in that extra bit of effort that has fetched him 61%, and therefore God congratulates him. Isn't it so wonderful? I may not be able to sing like Lata Mangeshkar, Mohammad Rafi, or I am naming some great Indian singers, but I may not be a great singer able to sing like others. But if I put in more effort than what those singers are putting in, at least equal to their effort, then Swami is happy with my singing as he is with their singing. Isn't that a great equalizer? That God judges us on our efforts. Now that is the beauty of the Sathya Sai Seva Organization. Because the only and ultimate judge in this organization is Swami, more than the results, it is the efforts that matter. And Swami says, you take care of the efforts, I'll take care of the results. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You have your authority only over the efforts, not over the results. The results are in my hands. A little disclaimer over here. Every time, whenever I have stated this example, I have put this disclaimer. There is intense competition usually for singing bhajans. in the Samitis. So I gave that singer example. Now let us remember that it is only God who judges us by our efforts. All of the other members in the Samiti judge us by the results. And therefore, if I want to sing and I am not having a good cultured voice, God is definitely pleased. So let me sing alone in my altar. Let me not insist on singing in public. Because while God sees only bhava, the public and the devotees see bhava, raga, tala, everything. So it is important to be technically right also. And this is what Swami has told many aspiring singers who are not able to get that good quality sound. Swami says, I am hearing you in your heart. Sing in your altars at your home. Don't insist on singing in public bhajans in mics. This is just an aside. That is because, the world, humans, people judge us by results. But Swami always judges us by our efforts, dear brothers and sisters. So, on this day, let us resolve that we will not be hypocrites. It's not enough if we appear good. It's enough for the world if we appear good. But for God, we have to be good. And in the process of being good, even if we appear to be wicked, God will take care of that. God will take care of that because He knows that our intention is good. It is just that we don't know how to present ourselves. It is always safer and better to have a good intention rather than to camouflage a bad intention and appear to be good. Appearances can deceive people. Can't deceive Swami. It can't deceive Swami, and Swami knows every thought, every feeling in our heart. I will conclude by giving just one more example to prove this, not actually to prove. God needs no proving. Just to illustrate this thought that God knows every feeling in our heart. It was during, I think, the year 2005 or something like that, 2004 or 2005. And as students of the postgraduate class, we were putting up a small presentation in Bhagwan's presence in Kulwant Hall. We were preparing for it. And those years, Swami encouraged us a lot to come up with even small presentations. It is that encouragement, that kind of support, just like a mother would feel so proud listening to her child chanting nursery rhymes. Today, when I look back at those opportunities that Swami gave us to speak, to act, to do things in His presence, I feel so overwhelmed because what we did was very childish, maybe nonsensical and, nothing great. But Swami gave so much encouragement. And today, I must confess, if I am able to speak, this way virtually to an audience across the globe, I'm sorry, I just get overwhelmed. It is all because of that kind of support that Swami has given, and that is what Swami gives because, He didn't judge me that time saying that He is speaking childish, nonsensical stuff. He knew that I am putting effort and He supported the efforts. God always supports efforts. And that is why we need not worry about how good we are appearing to the world. What matters is how much effort we are putting in. That is what happened as we were preparing for this skit. There was this little scene of King Parikshit being thirsty during a hunt. For those who don't know, I must tell this story very briefly. King Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, he is on a hunt and he is feeling very thirsty. He comes across a hermitage where a sage is in meditation. He asks him to give water. He's saying, I'm thirsty, please give me water. I'm thirsty, please give me water. And when the sage does not respond, he gets irritated. And in his anger, he does a reckless act. He takes a snake, puts it around the neck of the sage and walks away. Later, the son of the sage comes. He gets to know how his father has been insulted and he curses Parikshit, saying that you will die of snake bite 7 days from now. And then the story goes on. Now, this was a little episode we were depicting in Swami's presence, and there was this boy. I will call him SMSK. His initials, SMSK. Because I don't want to name him, he doesn't want to be named. So SMSK was doing the role of King Parikshit. And how much ever we tried, it was just a 1 minute role. He has to walk in, say that he's thirsty, and take that snake and put it around the neck of the sage and walk away. 1 minute role, and he was struggling to get it right. And when he comes on stage, he was looking so artificial. So we kept telling him, SMSK, improve yourself. Come on, practice. After 2 days of practice, we used to put up programs in a span of 3 days and 4 days in Bhagwan's presence. That is another amazing thing. We used to put in a lot of efforts, but only 3 days. We used to not practice for months. So after 2 days, we told SMSK that, SMSK, tomorrow is the program, and we just have today to practice. If you're not able to do it, please, we'll have somebody else to do it. And he begged and pleaded. He said, please give me one more chance. Let me do it. One more chance, please. So we said, okay, today evening is last chance. That evening, when SMSK did his role, he came and he said, oh, I'm thirsty. I'm feeling thirsty. Please give me water. It looked quite convincing. So we told him, good, you have improved a little more. He said, definitely. The next day, when we were performing in Swami's presence, SMSK did a very good job. He did a convincing job of appearing thirsty, and he did his role and walked away. Now, at the end of the skit, at the end of the drama, Bhagwan calls SMSK of all the people, waves in hand and materializes an emerald ring for him. And we are all amazed, we are feeling, Swami, he did a good job, no doubt, but there are others who did a better job. We feel like that, right? Because we judge by results. But when we got to know the story later on, it was so amazing. Dear brothers and sisters, SMSK was feeling bad that he is not able to act well. And so what this boy did? For a complete 24 hours, he refrained from drinking water. His acting appeared so convincing because when he came on stage and he said, I'm thirsty, he was literally struggling and battling thirst. And he did this because he felt, I need to do it for my Swami. None of us knew this. But can you hide anything from our dear Swami? Swami knew it. Swami rewarded the effort. With this, dear brothers and sisters, I would like to thank Swami especially and most, and all his instruments for this beautiful opportunity that I got to participate in this satsang. I pray to Swami that he should give us the wisdom to realize that what matters most is our efforts. It is not the results that we produce. It is the efforts and the intention and the feeling behind those efforts that God treasures and cherishes. And since the sole objective of our organization is to please Swami and make him happy, we should always concentrate on our intentions and our efforts. With that prayer at Bhagwan's lotus feet, which I offer, with gratitude to him, thank you. Jai Sai Ram.